Okay, so now we're on problem 4 and we're going to do the alternate question. So we're going to find, it says for the first quarter of year 2, so again, first quarter, so January, February, March, we're going to prepare a monthly direct materials purchases budget using given required production. So this is what I was talking about in the previous video. The first video, we used the sales forecast and divided it by 5, and that's how we got our the amount that we wanted to, that our projection was. But this month we're just going to follow this required production. So we did it both ways. So, and then we're going to calculate the estimated total production. So same facts as before, we're just going to do it slightly differently. But the thing is, we're going to deal with the direct materials. So we're dealing with the raw materials. We're not dealing with the ending produced good, finished good. So let's get started. So again, as I've said before, I just like to lay everything out like this. Oh, and another thing, if you don't have this problem, if you went back on Blackboard and re-downloaded the new problem, you should, or the new exam, you should have it. So let's plan it out. So the required production, so I'm just going to take these numbers on this page and I'm going to take a highlighter and I'm actually just going to highlight these guys. Those are the ones I want. So 245, 260, and 250. And then also I want April as well, so I should have highlighted that. But so I'm going to just go backwards here, 250, 260, and 245. Okay, so this is a raw materials budget, so we always want to make sure that we're checking our problem to see how many raw materials we're going to need for each snow globe. So for one snow globe, it says it requires 2 ounces of a special rubber product. So I'm going to put that right here, so 2 for each snow globe that we produce. Okay, so multiply those together, I get 490, 520, 500, and 516. Okay, and so required ending inventory, we've been working a lot with our arrows, so we know that for required ending inventory, we need to determine how much we need from the previous, or the following month. So it looks like this is a little bit different. So our previous problem, we dealt with this up here, but this we're going to deal down here, and it says that the special rubber that they use is purchased from Sri Lanka. Consequently, the production manager wants 75% of the rubber on hand at the end of the month. So we're going to put right here, we're going to multiply this number by 75%. So these are the arrows that I really like to do. Again, you don't have to, but I'd recommend it. Okay, so the numbers that I got are 390, 375, and 387. Okay, so we're going to, and I like to put add over here, that's up to you though, but we're going to add these two together. So I'm going to get 880, 895, and 887. Okay, so now I have my total needed. So this is kind of standard to what we were doing before. And then I have beginning inventory. So what's my beginning inventory? It's last month's ending inventory. So we're going to pull these arrows back down like so. And so that would be 390 here and 375. Okay, and we have a problem. We don't have January. So how do we do that? We kind of make a little ghost month. So we have 75%. So this would be in December. So 75% of 490 would be 368. And so I'm just going to put that back here into my beginning inventory for January. I like to put less on the side here, and then I like to put parentheses around it. You don't have to. This just helps me remember that I need to subtract it. Also, this number is rounded slightly, just so you know. So if you got a different number, that's okay. So now I want to know what my required purchases are. So if I have my beginning inventory, that's what I'm coming into the month with, so I don't need to reproduce that amount. So I want to back that out of the total needed. So I get 512, 505, and 512 again. Interesting. Okay. So now what I want to do is I want to figure out what the cost per unit is. So I'm going to go back to my problem. And it says here, each snow globe requires 2 ounces of special rubber product, which costs 50 cents an ounce. So that's how I know that how much my raw materials are. So that's 50 cents a month. So I'm going to carry that all the way across. So far we've only been dealing with how much rubber we need for the snow globes. And then now what we're going to deal with is how much that is going to cost us. So we're going to multiply 50 cents times each one of these, and I get 256, 253, and 256 again. Okay, so that's our raw materials budget. So you can erase these arrows and make it look pretty. I just like to have them there just so I know what I'm doing. Now we're going to calculate the estimated, let me find it. We're going to calculate the estimated total production for the first quarter of year 2. So these numbers, it's basically like the previous example that we did. We're just going to add these all together because we just want to know for the quarter how much our raw materials are going to be. So maybe this question should have said not total production, but total direct material purchases. So we're going to add those 3 numbers together. So 256, 253, and 256. So I get a total of $765. So that's what I'm going to be spending on my raw materials.